Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Tori, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. Today we are reading Am I the A-Holes that are so spicy. 2026 is off to a very, very sassy start. These are all from this year, so anything previous to this year, we are leaving in the past for this episode alone. Before I jump in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever the term is on the platform you're currently listening or watching on. I love you guys so, so, so much. And I'm really excited to be back with you. I am a little sick, so if I sound a little nasally, we're doing our best here. But let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm Grace Tori, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. This first one is from 5 hours ago, and it's from r/AITAH, and it is titled, Would I Be the A-Hole for Backing Out of a Wedding Invite? Hi everyone, I was invited to a wedding a year ago for summer 2026. At the time, a while back, I didn't have any plans for the date, so provisionally said yes. But the wedding takes place on a weekday, so I would need to take 2 days of annual leave. And it's 4 hours away, so I need to pay for transfer there and pay for somewhere to stay for 2 nights. And as a bonus, my husband, who I've been married to for 5 years, isn't even invited. I acted passively a year ago by saying yes, but it was not the official RSVP. I've not even properly spoken to the bride for ages, and she doesn't reach out to me, and vice versa. Would I be the a-hole if I bailed now while I still can? I don't think it's worth the money and time. Okay, we're starting off very tame with this one. No, you would not be the a-hole because you haven't gotten like a save the date or anything. So in my mind, like she might have not even invited you now that you haven't spoken all this time because what is it? The save the date comes like 12 weeks out or something around that time. So if you haven't gotten that and you haven't officially RSVP'd, then I'd say you're in the clear, especially with it being during a weekday and things like that. I feel like when people ask a year ago, you reserve the right to change your mind. Like, that is just a, hey, would this date work? Like, they're excited, they're giddy, they want you to be like, yay, awesome, you got the date. Oh my gosh, you set a date. Like, I don't feel like it's 100% set in stone unless you're like a maid of honor or a family member, but it sounds like you're not even in the party at all. So I think you're all set. That's a quick and easy one. Now we're jumping into one that's a little bit crazier. And it is titled, Am I the a-hole for not wanting to see pics from my husband's vacation that I should be on? I get the feeling I may be overreacting, so want some objectivity. A bit long, just bear with me. Since November, I've been looking forward to some nights away with my husband. He has a work trip in another city, 2.5 hours away from us, and he thought it would be good for us to go. He bought the ticket and booked the hotel. It would be my Christmas present to go have nice dinners and go shopping. I was grateful. 2025 was a rough year for me, and well, I've been having some adjustment issues to our new normal of a bonus daughter who is 21 female living back in. Our flight was yesterday, but there were some major snowstorms that's caused delays that's impacted our flight. It was canceled. His flight was done through work, and mine he booked. While on the plane, we got the announcement the flight was canceled. He was in business, and I was in economy. Having worked at the airlines before, I know, unless I am also in business or have airline status, or both, I am low on priority. I immediately found flights for us both, not too bad in price, on a different airline the next day so we can still have some experiences, just one less night. I was going to pay. I asked him what he thought, and he said, let's just wait to see what the airline does. I reminded him, we are not on the same reservation. You're in business, and I'm in economy, and I don't have priority status. No, let's wait, he said. As we got in the taxi, I said again, let me redo this. We can hopefully get some reimbursement as they canceled the flight for us being delayed for 6+ hours. As we started the drive, he said he got the email he was rebooked for a flight today, and again reminded him I'm not in the same situation. Let me buy the ticket. He's like, haven't you gotten an email? I was like, I've been telling you this from the beginning. I checked the flight I was going to book, and it went from 300 to 900. I'm fuming because I know the price is not a good decision. Then I asked, how much did you pay for my ticket? Maybe there's a reasonable difference after I cancel the ticket. He says he doesn't have it. I should. I was like, you bought the ticket. He said he doesn't know where it is. Just wait for the airline to email you. They did. My flight is tomorrow, 2 days after the original flight. Then he asked, was the price for your ticket triple? I said no, now quadruple. Can you please find the invoice? He doesn't know where to look as it's not in the app. I'm like, what about the receipt? Wasn't that sent to your email? Gave him the date. I look over and he's looking at the credit card transactions. He found it. The difference would be like paying $200 for my ticket. This took 27 minutes, and by the time the flights were all gone, no matter the price, he left this morning. Am I the a-hole if I say I don't want to see any pics? So, I have two trains of thought here. One, he doesn't want you to go for some reason, and he's changed his mind since he originally booked it, and so he's kind of like, phew, problem solved. Two, he doesn't really want to deal with it, and so he's kind of having a little bit of, like, incompetence, like, making excuses, like, "I don't wanna do that." No, like, it's your fault. Like, kinda making excuses where putting the blame on you because he doesn't feel like dealing with it, or he's just, like, lazy? I don't know. Like, he's just like, "Ugh, I don't wanna deal with this right now. My problem solved. It's your problem now." I would be upset because that's your Christmas present? Like, is this the only thing you got for Christmas? Like, that's so like, I don't know, like, you would think that he would put forth more effort. I can see both sides where he's like, "Well, the airline has to make it right," versus being more proactive. I've found that in general, not all, but in general, women tend to be proactive where men are more reactive. So he's probably waiting for you to get an email that says XYZ before he reacts, whereas you're being proactive and saying, "I know that this is what is probably going to happen." All that to say, I would be very offended, and I'd be like, "What do you mean?" The fact that you were in economy and he was in business, that would be upsetting to me, personally. Like, maybe I wouldn't care that much, but if it's your Christmas present and it's your only Christmas present, I'd be like, "Why are we not splurging?" Or, like, I'd be like, "Hey, you know, I don't know, if you if this Christmas present can't go off with, like, out a hitch and he's not willing to put forth all the effort, the money, like, all the things, then he should have just gotten you something different." But I can also see both sides. So, I don't think you're the a-hole at all. I don't think that he's intentionally well, no, he's intentionally being the a-hole, but I don't think this is like a, "He's the worst, we hate him." I think it's like a, "He's being annoying. I'm frustrated with him, he's annoying," and you're completely justified to say you don't want to see pictures of the vacation you're supposed to be on. This AITAH is from 8 hours ago, and it is, "I, 26 male, had another woman in the bed when my 25 female cheating wife came home after being gone for 3 weeks. This situation happened 5 years ago." Plus an edit. Right, meaning I'm 41 male now, but I've always wondered if I handled this correctly or was I an a-hole. We were married a total of 5 years and knew each other for about 8 years. We actually met when she cheated on her boyfriend with me. Ooh, how you get 'em is how you lose 'em. Fast forward. We stayed in touch over the years and then started dating. Eventually got married. She was very feisty and would pick fights, and then she would be sweet as pie. Very bipolar. Well, sometimes when she would pick fights, she would storm out of the house and take off for a day or two. She did this a few times over the years. Each time she would leave, the time she was gone was a little bit longer than the time before. It was driving me nuts. She wouldn't pick up her phone and would stonewall me the whole time and then suddenly just show back up to the house like nothing happened. I'd ask her where she'd been, and she'd say her mother's house and needed space and didn't want to talk. Pause. I have learned that this is, and you guys are probably going to be like, "No shit, Grace," and I'm going to be like, "Wow, okay." I think this is revolutionary. I've learned that this is a common tactic for people that have been through like trauma, where you just want control of the situation, so you run away so that you can control the environment. I have the same problem, and when we first started dating, Josh and I would literally like get like anytime it would get like heated, I would just be like, "I'm leaving," get in my car and leave for like hours. I would just like drive around, or I had like a favorite parking garage where I'd go like park on top of the parking garage and just like watch the sunset and think. And I thought that that was better than fighting it out because I would say things I didn't mean, or he would say things he didn't mean. So I would want to come back to it when I'm like a lot more level headed. I also did this with my family and stuff. Like growing up, anytime I would have an argument, I'd be like, "I need to step away." But there's a difference between stepping away and then like stonewalling someone and like stomping out is not healthy, and until you deal with that response, you're not gonna grow. Like, it's just not a good response. I thought that was, like, revolutionary when I found that out because I thought I was doing the right thing, but it's actually not. You just need to have better communication skills and better communication as a couple, which I did not realize. Maybe I'm just dumb and, like, I was stuck in my own head, but yeah, the more you know. Continuing. One day she says I'm taking a shower. I thought I'd go take one with her about 5 minutes later. I enter the bathroom and the shower is running, but she's fully clothed standing behind the door on her phone. I'm like, well, WTF are you doing? She picks a fight and guess what? Yep, storms out of the house again. I will say I've done that before. Like, just start playing on my phone and not realize that's my ADHD disassociation though. About 2 weeks into her leaving this time, my buddy was staying over and he's like, F her, let's go to this party next door. I met this wild woman at the party. We hit it off and ended up hooking up. I mean, for 7 days, all day hooking up. Okay. Now, I think I was using her as a rebound, but I had a plan. I wanted her to be in the bed naked when my cheating wife got home. Sure enough, 3 weeks later, after she left, she came home to this woman in her bed naked. I was on the couch watching TV. She lost her shit and started screaming. They started yelling at each other, and the wife stormed out after calling me some names. That night, the wife moved in with the guy she had been seeing. Am I the a-hole for using this woman to get back at my wife? Or am I the a-hole for having a naked woman in the bed for my wife to see? Edit number 2, probably too late to say this for the ones who are already posted, but the woman did know I was married. Okay, here's a couple things I have to say. You didn't mention she was cheating until after. So that, like, obviously you mentioned she cheated before you, but you didn't mention she cheated until after you had the woman there, which makes me think, did you know? Regardless of that, two wrongs don't make a right. And in the words of our Lord and Savior Taylor Swift, I keep my side of the street clean. Karma will get you. It doesn't matter how horrible of a wife your ex-wife was. It doesn't matter how many times she cheated. You should not stoop to her level. Like, if it was that bad, then divorce. Move on. But in my opinion, stooping to someone's level is never, ever, ever, ever gonna make the situation right. I love a little pettiness. I love being petty sometimes. Sometimes. But there's like fun petty and then there's like harmful petty. And this I just think like is unnecessary. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm like wrong, but I don't think that if someone's cheating, you should intentionally go out to hurt them and cheat on them back. Like whether I just want peace and to be left alone. So like I don't know, maybe it's just me like good karma only in this household. So that's how I feel about it. You are the a-hole. She's also the a-hole. Everybody sucks here. It was 4 years ago, so clearly there's nothing you can do about it now, but that's my take on it. This one is from 17 hours ago, and it is titled, Am I the a-hole for not wanting to have anything to do with my husband's best friend and his wife after she slapped me? There's a bit of background information. We love context around here. This is going to be a bit disjointed, but here goes. My partner, who is 50 male, and I, 35 female, so there's a 15-year age gap, have been together for almost 15 years and not legally married. So that means you were 20 and he was 35? Okay. Personally, I don't agree with it, but you were of legal age, so that's on you, queen. His family has become my family, and his friends have become my main friend group. They live about 2 hours away from us. My husband has followed me from city to city as I go to different schools. We met in one city for my BA, then we moved for my MA, then again when I went for a PhD. He had already moved away from his hometown when we met. His friend group have known each other for a long time, the best friends since before high or secondary school, the rest since they were in their 20s. The best friend and his new, as of a few years ago, wife throw a Boxing Day party every year. I was in the best friend's wedding as a bridesmaid for his wife. Here is the incident. We're at the Boxing Day party this year. There are about 20 of us, all talking, music is playing, just very chill. I'm talking to the best friend's wife and a couple other people about prized objects. I mentioned that my engagement ring is the most valuable thing I own, so I don't take it out of the house. Best friend's wife then slaps me across the face and tells me to respect my man. Okay, no. That's a no. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. Continuing. I got angry and raised my voice, telling her to never touch me again. May have threatened her a bit more than that, but I don't remember my exact words. No one said anything in the moment except the drunk wife telling me I was getting butthurt for getting a little tap between sisters and her husband calling me a crybaby. I wasn't crying, I was shocked and just stone-faced angry. We left almost immediately and drove the 2 hours home. My husband completely agrees that it was uncalled for and I have every right to be angry, but I'm concerned about causing a rift between him and his friends that are basically family. We recently lost both my mother-in-law and father-in-law in the past couple of months, so his family and friend/family are that much more important to him now. Would I be the a-hole for not wanting to go back to that house? I feel like there's something missing. Lucky for us, there is an edit for context, so hopefully we'll get that, but I feel like there's like a piece missing here. Edit for context. My husband did not see it happen. He just heard me raise my voice and tell her to never touch me again. When I told him what happened, we left. I don't know how many people or who actually saw it happen. He also didn't quote unquote follow me like a stalker. We were in a relationship for 3 years and we're working security slash personal training. So he was able to come with me to the different cities for school rather than trying to do long distance. Yes, the age difference at the time was weird for both of us, but I had just returned home after spending 5 years in the Middle East. During my teen years, I lived in 3 different Middle Eastern slash African countries over 5 years. I wasn't your typical 20-year-old when we met. So, again, like, I feel like something's missing, but based off of the story, because that's all we have to go off of, I would never want to be around this woman. Like, that is so insane to slap someone. You should never put your hands on someone, girl. Like, why are we slapping? As a reaction, like, I know a lot of people who say, like, "Hey, I don't leave the house with my engagement ring," or, "Hey, I barely ever wear my wedding ring. I wear a silicone ring," or, "Hey, whatever, like, I got a tattoo." And a lot of people do that because they don't want it to get stolen or lost, or they buy, like, a costume ring, and that's your prerogative. Like, as long as you and your husband are on the same page, that's all that matters. Shouldn't matter what anybody else thinks. Regardless of that and how anyone feels about that, it's no slapping should be involved. Like, you should never slap someone as like an adult. Excuse me? Okay, she said they're all Gen X and I'm millennial. The wife is right in between our ages. She said, I didn't think I would ever have a woman slap me in like a grown up setting. Agreed. Overall, not the a-hole. Moving on, this next one is from 17 hours ago and is titled, Am I the a-hole for not wearing a bra at home? Context that I think is relevant. I'm 28 female and married to a 32 male. We live in a house that we bought together. For like 8 years, I haven't really worn a bra except to work or if I'm going out to a specific event, i.e. a party or a wedding or a date or to do exercise. Honestly, same. Ever since I was in college and got them pierced, I said, you know what? That's trendy around these parts to have them pierced and like not wear one. So I just haven't worn one since. And I don't leave the house very often. So like, why would I? So valid. I think that that's very valid for like all the all the women in the itty bitty titty community. We all feel this way. Solidarity. My husband hasn't seemed to have a problem with it until recently, and I'm not even sure it's him that he has a problem. Wait, back it up. I just assumed that you were in the itty bitty titty community. How big are we talking? How big are these jugs? Because that's gonna make a difference. I mean, honestly, I don't care, but it will decide like the reaction because obviously one is very different compared to the other. Continuing. About 6 months ago, he told me that he was offering our guest room to one of his work friends who was being evicted, which is not his fault if anyone finds that relevant, until he will find another place to live. So, friend who is in the late 30s moves some stuff in, sets up in our guest room, and husband and friend hang out basically 24/7. He is also a guy, the friend. Husband has been acting different since friend moved in, which is why I'm unsure who has the problem. Friend had made no effort to find another place to live after 4 months, and husband was not charging rent until I asked him to. They came to an agreement last month, and friend has not made a rent payment yet. On to the conflict. As I said above, I don't wear a bra except for certain situations, and being home is definitely not one of those situations. I like to be comfortable, especially in my own home. Husband came to me 2 days ago asking if I could start wearing a bra at home when friend is home. Absolutely not. I'm on your side. I asked why. He said so that I'm decent with another man around. Okay, no. Bras are so uncomfortable. I'm sorry. No. No. If he has a problem, that's not your problem. That's his problem. Like, no. In your own home? No. I'm never openly indecent when he is home, and I shut both our bedroom door and our bathroom door when I shower and change for bed and work whether friend is home or not. I am mindful of my appearance when friend is home and never without pants or a top, just braless. I asked husband why all of a sudden me not wearing a bra was indecent. He couldn't give me a good answer and just asked me again if I would wear a bra at home and walked away. He's bad with conflict, so he often walks away when I push back. Going back to the last episode, or last story, you know how we feel about that. Then would not talk to me for the rest of the night. I asked again yesterday whether it was him or friend that was uncomfortable with me not wearing a bra at home, and he said both. I reminded him that he did not ask me if friend could move in, and that this was my home too, and that I should be allowed to be comfortable. Oh, yeah, no, he should have asked you. I asked him why all of a sudden it was not okay that I wear a bra, or if it was something that had been bothering him this whole time. He was obviously mad, but would not engage with me anymore and continued to ignore me for the rest of the day. Friend has not said anything to me about it, but I could understand why he wouldn't want to. He and I don't talk much when husband isn't home. Even if he did, I would probably tell him to get over it because I live here too. And frankly, my comfort is more of a priority than his since he's been living in our house, eating our food for free for 6 months. Husband has been at work all day, probably avoiding the conflict like he always does, so I hadn't had a chance to ask again. So am I the a-hole for not wearing a bra at home? Am I just being stubborn, or am I justified in my line of thinking? My issue is not with, like, that. Obviously, that's a problem. You not wearing a bra is not a big deal. Like, in your own home. How dare he? No, bras are so uncomfortable. This is one of those things that, like, men just don't understand. It's not, like, a little thing. Like, that's a big deal. It's very uncomfortable. Second, he didn't ask you before his friend could move in. This is your husband? This is a whole-ass husband? That's where I have the issue, because where is the line? Like, when does he start asking? That's where I would be angry. But everybody is saying 1 day is too long without asking your partner, not the a-hole. It's time for him to go. The conversation shouldn't be rent, but rather timetable for him to get the F out of your braless sanctuary. That. I think that is where I'm going to end it because my voice is starting to hurt. I love you guys so, so, so much. I will see you guys next week with a whole new podcast episode. I'm hopefully going to start posting more soon, but we're just waiting for things to slow down with, life, if that ever happens. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the things. I already said I love you, but I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You was the first